You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati. Well, we have an exciting show lined up. We have in studio with us from Evolve Personal Health. We'll get to them in just a minute. But coming up on the program, we're going to talk to a patient at the Bonati Spine Institute. We're going to talk about deep nutrition with Dr. Kate. And then, of course, you'll hear what's new in American medicine today. But joining us right now in studio are board-certified physician Dr. Vim Patel and introspective counselor Chitra Prasad Patel from Evolve Personal Health here in South Tampa, Florida, a brand new facility that is taking concierge medicine to a whole new level. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having us.
You're welcome.
We actually got to visit these guys a couple of weeks ago, and we thought, you know what, come in and do radio too. We had you for a TV show.
Yes.
But interesting to note, before you started Evolve, Dr. Patel, tell us a little bit about your previous life working at a hospital and kind of what made you want to branch off and do your own thing.
Right. I was a hospitalist for about a dozen years, and within that time span, there's high acuity in the hospitals, as you know. If anybody's ever been admitted into a hospital, you're normally pretty sick if you need to be there. And looking at the stream of patients that came in, I realized there was simply Band-Aid medicine being performed. Now, I don't mean to criticize the entirety of medicine. I love it. I'm a part of it. And it was just something that I felt needed to be corrected. So we went out and I left that acute care practice to start a more patient-centered, patient-focused practice where we can kind of take the ailments not simply as a prescription-based form of medicine where we give medication, but where we try to change mindset and where we try to change behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think, though, that there's so much doctor burnout?
I can give you a myriad of reasons. I'm sure Dr. Bonati can chime in with me, but it is the state of medicine today. Unfortunately, maybe we can discuss that at some later point.
Sure.
But there are constrictions going on with the state of healthcare that physicians do feel. There are time constraints. There are constraints upon patients as well. So we decided to kind of move our practice outside of those constraints and kind of give patients the freedom to maneuver and the guidance to move along in their health journey.
You know, it was such a different experience being at Evolve. It was just the feeling from the time that you walk through the door.
It doesn't feel clinical, you know.
Not
it doesn't
at
feel
all.
like you're visiting a doctor, and that was by design, right?
Right, absolutely. So we put conscious thought into even designing our physical space where we wanted, like you guys said, when you step in to get a sense of calm, we designed our protocols around, patients and their time and what they would want. So it was a conscious effort to go in and say, what would I want from a doctor's office as a patient? And that's how we kind of came up with Evolve Personal Health.
Why don't you describe what you call Vimchi?
So Vimchi is a proprietary methodology that we created. It's a play on names. It's a play on the words. My name is Vim. My wife's name is Chitra, so Vimchi. It also means Vim is the physical force and Chi is that life force, that metaphysical. The combination of the two we find really helps patients. So when in my prior manifestation, I was a medical doctor where I'm treating you based on your lab numbers and what you're complaining about, and there'd be almost a prescription or two handed out after the fact. So now what we try to do is take a look at it from different viewpoints and to say, is there a way we can kind of alleviate these ailments or these problems in these patients without medication, with other modalities such as yoga, such as talk therapy, and that's how we kind of created it, where we wanted to change the paradigm of medicine.
It was kind of interesting. We'll talk to you here for a second, Chitra. What I got to do with you, like you say, it's the introspective counseling. Tell us a little bit about that. It was almost like a therapy session, if you will.
It is kind of like a therapy session. I think that one of the things that was missing from what Vim was talking about whenever he would come home as a hospitalist was that introspective part. There wasn't enough opportunity to really find out why something is happening or how the patient feels about it, or to talk about their stress or anxiety level. And so what we did was combine what we both did, him as a doctor And I have been meditating for about 20 years, and I'm a life coach and executive coach. And so to combine those to talk not just about the physical symptoms that someone's dealing with, but everything else that's going on internally.
Do you feel that there's better outcomes for your patients because of that?
Absolutely.
I think that the feedback that we're getting is that this is such an important part that they actually don't have this in life.
Correct.
You know, when I think that we usually think that it's therapy or counseling, but life coaching is a very quick-based movement.
Solutions-based.
Yeah, so it's, talking about something, looking at your current resources and seeing how you can move forward with it.
What I liked is when we saw the patients come in, it was like they were seeing family. When they came in, they were getting help with nutrition. They were talking to you about whatever they needed medically. They were getting the counseling, the introspective counseling from you. Why don't you talk about how you kind of develop that community and things you do, because you're kind of hanging out with your patients.
We're definitely hanging out with our patients. They take off their shoes.
Right.
They come put their
Yes.
stuff on the couches. It's very much about that personal relationship, and that's really what coaching is.
Right. We have a very serene environment, and one of our patients said the other day, "This is where I come to laugh." So, I mean, that's terrific for us to hear that. So, what we wanted to do is create a sense of community, security, where it's not just the benefit of having your doctor's phone number on your phone, but it's also the comfort of a friend that you can bounce some questions off of. Right. So, we have
Sure.
a comfort level, like a family type environment, as you described, for our patients, for our greater community. So within that office, we kind of translated these same sort of philosophies, and we kind of put them into our patient care.
Yeah, it was a very cool
Yes.
experience. If people want to learn more about Evolve, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Our website, evolvepersonalhealth.com, and then we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for joining us in studio. Board certified physician Dr. Vim Patel and introspective counselor Shithra
Yep.
Prasad Patel. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so
Thank you
much,
very
guys.
much.
And again, look for these guys on an upcoming episode
Yes.
of the TV version of American
And
Medicine
that one
Today.
was fun because we got to put on our best yoga
Put on our
outfits
gym
and-
outfits and do
and
some
check out
stretching.
our balance and stretch.
And
And
Dr.
work on
Patel,
our Vim Chi.
And Dr. Patel said that I had horrible balance, which I'm still kind of seething about because I thought I had good balance.
Because I know you're a jujitsu master.
Yes.
And see Ethan
Jiu-jitsu
try to hold
master.
his pose.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well, I've evolved to becoming a master. Like that segue?
personal growth. Yes, right here on American Medicine
Ethan's
Today.
experienced it with one visit to Evolve.
That's right.
Make sure you stay tuned because we'll have more personal growth coming up.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results, no pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now, I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome has been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Our senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
That's cold. That's code for I'm the old guy. Thanks for having me.
And our other distinguished gentleman, world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the esteemed Bonati Spine Institute.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of BS.
But it isn't.
It's all true.
Everyone that has tuned in and listened for all the years we've been on the air understand that what you do is bring patient pain resolution. For those that have been told nothing could be done, for those that have been through invasive procedures where they have been slit down the front, slit down the back, have exchanged one pain for another, been conned into hardware fusion surgeries by, some lesser spine institutes that are out there. You don't do that. You bring true patient pain resolve. See, he laughs. He always gets embarrassed. He is not one to pat himself on the back, but you know what? I do, because I see
we do the patting
true
for
relief
him because he's such
of the pain that he brings.
pioneer.
Yeah,
No wonder I have a back pain.
I know a guy who can fix that.
Joking aside, I have seen miraculous things happen where people have been brought in on stretchers and they leave walking on their own 2 feet. Mm-hmm. People that have been told they are going to be wheelchair bound for life, or they need to get used to a walker or use a cane and just be hooked on pain meds. They come to the Institute and you have been able to correct their problems. And it's kudos to you and what you do at the Bonati Spine Institute. Right now, though, we're going to hear from one of our Bonati patients.
In today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
It is my pleasure to introduce to the program Desiree Bierman from Sarasota, Florida. Thank you for joining us on the line.
Oh, thank you for having me. You're welcome. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What an incredible story Desiree has.
I know. Well, you were a flight attendant. Why don't you tell us how you came to be in pain? Because it had to do with an accident.
Yeah, sure. I was a victim of turbulence accident. The airplane dropped 1,000 feet, and I hit the ceiling and the countertop, and essentially was a bit of a ping pong ball in the back of a 767.
Wow.
Shortly thereafter, I did physical therapy. I did have a lot of issues, but the real consistent pain didn't really kick in until, 6 years later after I had my son.
Wow.
Doc, what would cause that? For somebody to go through an accident, but the pain be realized later after childbirth?
Well, usually it's associated with some type of change on the mechanical structure of the back, and probably she injured the back, and she maybe had some mild pains at the time that she got pregnant. The weight of the baby changed the mechanic of the back, and if you already was injured, then that create very much a. It's not an intermittent, it's a permanent pain that makes them crazy.
Wow. So what happened at that point? You had your child, and what do you do? Because I know what it's like to be a new mother, and all of a sudden that's compounded with this back pain. Did it affect your way of life as a new mother?
Oh, it was terrible. I was in pain from the moment that I had him.
Yeah.
I could barely lift him. And all the activities that go along with being a new mom I was in pain constantly. Bending, lifting, walking, sitting. There was nothing that would give me relief.
Right.
So I was pretty devastated. I was in a really bad spot.
Wow, I can imagine, because I know what it's like when you have a newborn and you're on limited sleep. So that's already kind of wearing on one's patience, and I can only imagine that in addition to back pain. So what did you do at that point?
Well, I saw several doctors, orthopedic surgeons, kind of went down the normal road that your primary care physician, kind of has you go on.
Sure.
And I just didn't like the answers. Nobody really could tell me what was happening.
Okay.
I wasn't confident in anyone's answers. They wanted to do exploratory back surgery where they open you up and, you know, the fusion was talked about, all of the other traditional types of back surgery. And I didn't want to do it. I knew that if...
Let me stop you because I didn't ask. The type of pain you had, can you describe that for people listening? Was it a localized pain, a shooting, a numbing pain? Just describe it so people could recognize it if they suffer just like you.
Oh, sure. So I had all different areas of the spine, the neck, the thoracic, and the lumbar.
Okay.
So everything was very different. You know, it was numbness, it was tingling. From the neck, I felt like tingling down the arm, numbness. Shooting pains, vibrations, and just kind of aching pain all the time.
All right.
Lumbar, same thing, but it kind of went down into the legs, into the buttock area, and then the thoracic as well. And it just kind of, the pain travels, whether it be tingling, numbness, or vibration.
Wow, that just sounds miserable. So, so there you are trying to seek some sort of pain resolution, and you tried conservative type methods to no avail?
I did, yeah. I even tried, you know, manipulation therapy, everything, you know, holistic that you can think of, chiropractic, you know, except obviously I didn't want to do the surgery.
Right.
And so I was just kind of at a spot where, like, where do you go? And I kind of gave up on even really finding the answer.
Sure.
Until, you know, my dad heard the Bonati commercial on the radio, and he called me and said, I think you should go see him.
Okay. When you said, though, you kind of went looking other places, what did doctors say when, did you have any luck with that?
Yeah, not really. They were, I think, overwhelmed with the just volume of pain and, you know, locations of where it was.
Sure.
Because there was just so much going on. And so nobody could really tell me what was the problem.
Wow.
And that's where I lost confidence.
Okay. And you went to what I guess some would consider specialists, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Spine specialists. I went to even other like laser institutes, you know, other minimally invasive facilities, and nobody could give me an answer.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so you hear about the Bonati Spine Institute from your father, who saw a commercial, and what did you do?
Well, first I was like, no, I'm not going to another one.
Okay, because you thought you would hear the same thing. No one could get to the root cause of your problem.
Yes, I was like, this is just going to be another waste of time.
Sure.
You know, I'm a mom, like a new mom, and I'm in pain, so I don't want to do anything I, you know, don't need to do. So
correct.
Anyways, he talked me into it. He's like, I really think you should go. So I said, okay. And he said, just make the call and talk to him. And I think that was the key point, because when I did make that call, the level of service that I got was so great, and there really wasn't a lot. I didn't really have to put out a lot in order to get an answer. Could they help me or could they not? You know, hey, here's my MRI. It's like, take a look. Can you help me? You know,
Sure.
I didn't have to go there yet at that point.
All right.
So I think that was nice.
And you make your way down to Hudson, Florida, and what was that experience like? Can you talk about the in-person evaluation?
Oh my gosh. And I don't know if Nadia remembers this, but this is what impressed me the most. When he walked in, you know, obviously I'm skeptical.
Sure, sure.
But when he walked in, he said, I started talking about my pain, and he said, okay, stop talking. He's like, I'm going to tell you where you hurt.
Right.
Based on the images. And I sat back and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And he described my pain to a point.
Right.
In every aspect of, you know, area of the back where the pain was. So I was extremely impressed, and pretty much at that point he had my attention and confidence that he could, you know, fix me.
Okay, so we're running out of time, so we're going to fast forward to surgery. Obviously, you know that there's something called conscious IV sedation, and they will be asking you to try to recreate your pain. I know when they're pressing on the nerve, you know, it's not always fun. But did you watch? Have to know. Did you watch at all? Because it's an option.
I did watch, I think, the first two.
Okay. And what did you think? Did you think it kind of took you out of the moment? Like, hey, that's my back right there that they're working on.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not everybody's always
really
into the
look
whole
like-
camera thing, but but it's interesting. Whether you
Yeah,
continue to watch it or not, it is interesting to see your innards and know that you're communicating through that process.
I didn't really know what I was looking at, so it didn't
That's
really
okay.
register.
Sure.
During the process.
But did it make you more confident to know that you were at least awake? To know if they were getting to that root cause of the problem versus being put completely under and then waking up hours later not knowing if they corrected the issue?
I don't think I had that level of awareness at the time,
Sure.
and I think I'm one of those people that are just like, put me out. But
That's
I probably
okay.
knows that.
When, okay, let me ask you this. When did you notice a relief of the pain that brought you in? Obviously, you're going to have surgical site pain, but that excruciating pain that made you seek action, when did you notice that lift?
I would say right away, depending on my issue and what part of the body it was. Some of the pain wasn't constant, so I wouldn't be till later that I would know that it was gone.
Right.
But the pain that was always there and constant was immediately gone when you wake up.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
So in the recovery area, when the conscious IV sedation starts to wear off, she knew she was out of pain.
What do you mean wake up? You would never sleep.
You were always awake.
when you come out of the anesthesia, but are you back to doing some of the fun things that you were unable to do?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, he basically gave me my life back.
Mm-hmm.
I can pick up my son and I can play, and when you're in that much pain, it completely changes your personality, your happiness, your motivation. So it affects every aspect of your life, your work, your relationships, your friends, your everything. And it's way more than just being able to move around without pain and do things. It goes into every aspect of my life. So it's absolutely been life-changing.
You didn't have to live life on the sidelines any longer. Well, thank you
great.
so much for sharing your story of recovery with us here on American Medicine Today. We truly appreciate it. Continued
You're
good
welcome.
health to you, Desiree.
Thanks, Desiree.
Thank you. Thanks, Bernardi.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Aw. And send us pictures. We always like to see everyone as they're back to doing the things they do. I know she
There she
got off the
goes.
line a little early. But stories like that never cease to amaze me.
Great
because
story.
when you're a new mommy, you want to be an active participant in your child's life, and to know that you gave her that back where she could interact with her child in that way is just totally life-changing. If you or someone you know is suffering with neck, back, or sciatic pain, reach out to Bonati at 855-267-0483. Make sure you stay tuned because we're going to talk deep nutrition. Stay tuned. We'll be back. You're listening to American Medicine Today.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome has been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati.
Hello.
Hi. Well, our next guest has helped some of the world's top athletes to optimize their nutrition, from Kobe Bryant to Dwight Howard, using something she calls the human diet. Her newly revised and updated book is titled Deep Nutrition: Why Your Genes Need Traditional Food. And she is Dr. Catherine Shanahan. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Kate.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Yes.
So the human diet, to me, that just means you're a human being.
And you
eat
diet.
food.
Right.
What is the human diet, and how did you come up with it?
Exactly. That's what it is. So Deep Nutrition is the first book to really scientifically evaluate what it is that all people around the world used to do before the government and before processed food. And so we found that we didn't know going into it if we would find that there's anything in common. But we did find commonalities, and we actually found 4 of them, which we call the 4 pillars of the human diet. Okay. And these are strategies that every single culture, whether we're talking about people in France or Japan or China or Alaska or Hawaii, what they all share in common. So we thought that would be pretty important to at least know what they are, so that we could most accurately and easily reproduce in like an original human diet, like what people always used to do, for ourselves. And so I can just list them out if you're ready.
Sure.
Perfect.
So we've got fresh food. That's one.
Okay.
That everybody did. Next one is fermented and sprouted foods. And number 3.
Wait, hang on. Fermented, is that
Sounds like beer.
Yeah, I'm down with that. No, but you're probably talking like kimchi, kombucha, things like that, right?
So, anything fermented, really. And so that's number 2.
Okay.
And then number 3 is meat on the bone, like beef stock, chicken stock, or just having, chicken wings with the skin on. And then the last one is organ meats, which is not everybody's favorite, but that's kind of self-explanatory. So, the liver, bone marrow, every bitty part of the animal, once people...
So like chicken liver pate, that's okay?
That's a perfect example.
Perfect. All right.
You're
I'm going
okay
to the
with
deli
that?
next, yes.
Yeah.
So each of these have like their standout benefits, right? They're good for us for a lot of reasons, but the fresh food is the best source of antioxidants and vitamins. The fermented and sprouted food, that's really good for our gut health because the live bacteria in the fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi are actually good for, they keep on living in our gut, and they are good guys actually that we need to eat lots of them because the way they defeat the bad guys, pathogens that we might get in our food or some other way.
What is kimchi?
Is by
It's Korean.
Kimchi is like
fermented
Korean
cabbage.
Coleslaw, basically.
It's really good.
Okay.
I only know because
that
my
sounds
wife
good.
eats it.
So that would be like an...
But we have to have lots of good guys to outnumber the bad guys. It's literally gang warfare. The technical term is called quorum sensing.
So that would be a natural probiotic?
Exactly. So people didn't originally have probiotic supplements, obviously,
Right.
but we didn't literally eat dirt. But and some have suggested that that's how we got all our probiotics. But we maybe got some that way. But we on purpose preserved our food. We didn't know what bacteria were, but it was microbes that were helping preserve the food when we had extra fresh food. That's literally how before refrigeration and canning.
And Doc is trying to act like he's chewing on rocks in the background.
That's why we're laughing.
That's why he's laughing.
You just absolutely tickled Doc.
Now, Dr. Kate, so you said that it's a lot of different cultures around the world. I've heard that the Asian cultures, especially like Japan, Okinawa specifically, that their diet is just so much different than ours, and that's also why they live so much longer.
Well, so there's a couple things I want to talk about there. So first of all, every culture that is following their traditional diet to this day still is going to be healthier than those cultures that do not, right? So where there's a higher proportion of people who, in Okinawa, it's easy to fish, it's easy to garden because the weather's beautiful all year round. So that's why, it's so famous. But really, they're not doing anything differently. They're not doing anything special compared to traditional French cuisine or traditional Chinese cuisine. They use different vegetables, different animals, and maybe some different spices and things that taste totally different. But as far as our bodies are concerned, we're getting the same kinds of nutrients, the same vitamins, the same. We're getting the bone stocks. We're getting the all kinds of different the micronutrients, the minerals, and all that good stuff that we all need. We're getting it no matter what cuisine we're following. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is the idea that longevity is a really useful marker for what is a good diet. I think that's been really throwing us off, because longevity is really more luck than whether your diet is good. And a better useful marker might be something like fertility, or resistance to chronic disease.
Okay,
right?
Let's talk fertility, because I think I'm aging out of the system. So, what foods and things could I do to keep my fertility fertile?
Fertile.
Yes, how can I be a fertile myrtle?
Oh, please don't.
It's a great question. So, the number one thing that's causing infertility these days is related to diet.
Okay.
And it's related to the fact that PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, is a result largely of hormonal imbalances that are a result of insulin excess. And that comes from our diet in two ways. We eat way too much carbohydrate in this country, particularly the refined carbohydrates.
Sure.
And the vegetable oils that we eat, which have directly toxic effects on our metabolism and our cells, and that make us insulin resistant. And when you're insulin resistant, it messes up all your other hormones. So gynecologists are using a low-carb diet that contains healthy natural fats like butter and eggs and cheese to treat infertility when it's due to PCOS, and it's very successful.
Not cheese for you.
Dr. Kate, we all use vegetable oil and various oils when we're cooking. Would it be smarter to use olive oil, canola? What would you recommend?
Yeah, so the vegetable oils are canola, soy, corn, cottonseed, soy, sunflower, safflower, and a couple of other ones like palm and rice bran. But the major ones are going to be your soy, canola, and actually your palm. And they are toxic because they're processed and the kind of fats that they have. So I recommend the fats that people always used to use before we had all these industrial processing and monoculture farming, which is olive oil, like you mentioned. Peanut oil is actually pretty good, especially if it's unrefined. Really, any unrefined oil is great. And then butter, as well as old-fashioned like lard and tallow, stuff like that, especially when the animals that it's coming from have been properly raised, pasture-raised, not confinement, and all that kind of stuff that we're seeing so much of now. It's actually hard to get pasture-raised animal meat or anything because it's such a minority. The farmers are, there's hardly any really traditional farmers anymore, and this is why we still have this idea that Okinawa and certain other places, their diet must be really special or something. But no, it's that they're actually doing even their farming in a much more healthy, sustainable, traditional way.
Okay, I have to say it, genetics. People tend to think your genetics play a huge role in whether you're healthy or not, but I think you say that's not really the case.
Well, so what we had this idea is that you're born with half the genes that you got from your mom and half the genes that you got from your dad, and that's set in stone. And so, if you just happen to inherit an unlucky gene, then you're kind of doomed, and there's nothing that you can do to fight your family history.
Sure.
But what we talk about in Deep Nutrition, the subtitle of Deep Nutrition is Why Your Genes Need Traditional Food, and it has to do with the expression of the genes. This comes from a science that it's kind of a popular, almost like a buzzword now, epigenetics, that your food changes the expression of your genes. So that most of the chronic diseases come from altered genetic expression and not family history. Like when I first went to medical school, I learned that type 2 diabetes was familial, right? But now we know it's hardly familial at all. You can eat your way into it and you can eat your way out of it. And that has to do with the fact that food changes how your genes work.
And I can eat my way to fertility.
You certainly
It's all about eating, apparently. I wanted to ask you real quick, Dr. Kate, you mentioned soy oil. I saw something online recently because my wife is trying to get into all of this, vegan stuff, and she eats a lot of soy and tofu. But then I saw something on the internet from another doctor saying that soy is terrible for you. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so soy oil is totally different than soy, right? It's because you take the soy seeds and you refine them and you get the oil out. So the soy beans I don't have any problem with soybeans as long as they're not like doused with chemicals, and I don't like the monoculture cropping and the GMOs and all that kind of stuff. But traditionally, so we've had this like odd relationship with soy because for a while we were saying, oh my gosh, it's the secret to the Asian health, right? And then it became like people would eat practically nothing but soy-based protein sources if they were vegan, and that's an imbalanced diet. And the fact is that if you do that, you can have way too much of some of the chemicals in soy that can affect your thyroid negatively, and there's some other things. But just it's really the excess. And then the other thing that's missed in our discussions about traditional foods is how is that food prepared? And this gets back to the 4 pillars and the second pillar, the fermentation, because most of the cultures in Asia that use soy a lot, they're fermenting it into all kinds of different things that, there's like 500 different forms of fermented soybeans in China. 500. So it goes way beyond tofu. There's things that look like something that went bad in the fridge.
Smell like it too.
500 different versions of that.
Let me ask you something. How about the fat on the steak?
Yeah, so I'm not against that, but I do like to emphasize that if you're getting a steak, it's going to be much better for you if that cow is grass-fed. It's a completely different nutritional profile in the fats, and because the animal was getting its natural diet, and it changes the fatty acid profile so that you're not getting with animals that are fed grain and soy and corn, they have way too much of the omega-6 fatty acids that are kind of the pro-inflammatory essential fats. We need these fats because they are essential, but if we get too many of them, then it's more associated with inflammation-related illnesses. And if you get the grass-fed animals, there's a lot more omega-3 in there, and in fact, there's so much omega-3 in grass-fed and butter from grass-fed cows that you don't even need fish oil capsules. More than cod liver oil.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Catherine Shanahan, author of Deep Nutrition, Why Your Genes Need Traditional Food. Thank you for shedding light on such an important topic.
This has been fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you very much.
You. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
I love it.
She's great. Yeah.
And soy can cause infertility in men. Not that I have fertility on.
I need a lot of soy.
I'm gonna go get you a tofu sandwich.
Soy-free. Only soy-free for you. Anyway, we'll be back with more discussion
soy
about
and
what's
tofu.
new in American medicine today.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome has been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
I love all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Thanks for still listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by my friends Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Yes, I am.
And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon who does not have his microphone on, world-renowned Dr. Bonatti.
Because he's used to dropping the mic.
Just connect myself.
Yes.
So a brand new segment.
Yes. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
It's about kazoos?
It's Trump's.
Triumphs.
That was so
Yay.
lame. We got to get a genuine intro
so
for
lame.
this.
I'll have something really cool
Triumph.
produced.
That's
with
so
like
lame, but it's real truth.
something that sounds very regal.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So tell us about some of Trump's latest triumphs in the eyes of Dr. Bonatti.
Well, I think we need to talk, everyone
And the rest
here.
of the conservatives.
One of the things that you need to remember is this is the very first time in all 40 years of presidents that they went through my life.
That they do what they say?
Are you going to interrupt me now?
I'm so excited about his triumphs. He does
Well,
what he
let
says.
me
Tell her this,
He says what he
finish.
does, yes.
You're fired.
No, you're fired. You're right.
I'm hired.
You're fired.
I'm hired.
You're fired.
No, let me tell you this. 40 years, listen, these new presidents coming.
Yes.
These gentlemen, in 50 days, did what they never accomplished in their whole
Correct.
4 or 8 years of presidency.
Okay, well, right. And then that even goes beyond just Barack Obama.
Oh, let's not talk about
The
Barack.
Obama.
Now, come on,
Yes.
Jimmy Carter was a real get-it-done kind of guy.
Yeah, but that's all the Democrats, man. The same garbage. The Democrats comes over and screwed up everything, and then the Republicans need to come over and fix it.
So what did he do in his first 50 days in office?
Well, one of the first things that he did is freezing all federal hiring outside of the military.
That's something Ronald Reagan did, right? He
Yeah,
did that in
but
the
you know
80s.
how important is this?
I do.
Because it's getting people out from the government and putting back on the private sector, because these people in the government is just like leeches.
Yes.
They stay there, they receive all this amount of benefits, but the next thing is they are very low performance people.
Yes.
They are incapable to do anything except receive a salary.
We need a sounder that sounds like water going down the drain. He's draining the swamp. Yes, he's draining the swamp.
Also, he decided to remove
Yes.
from every new type of a
Regulation.
regulation, 2 regulations that need to disappear. What is going to create a tremendous amount of input on the industry. Also, can you believe in 50 days, just in January, he has 250,000 new jobs created.
235.
Well, I like more 250.
As of February.
Here you
well,
go, Kimberly.
He
We're
doesn't
talking in
need an
round
extra
numbers.
one.
Well, let's round the numbers.
Toilet flush.
Yeah.
that
The crud is
Draining the
floating
swamp.
away. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds pretty distressful.
Well, anyway,
Sorry
so
about
jobs are not going down the drain. He's increased jobs, and he started that actually before he took office. So kudos again. Yes. And wait, stock market.
Increase the achievement on the stock market. And you are practically one person who can talk about it.
I am ecstatic and about what Donald Trump has had effect on 401k and personal investments. Look, I'm not a wealthy guy. I'm what you call a ham and egger. I'm a working guy. My 401k has exploded over the last 3 or 4 months. My personal investments have exploded by saving, by investing properly. Hopefully that's going to help.
Do we
me
think
build the
that's going to
future.
continue, though? That's,
I do.
No, this is the beginning. The guy
Yeah, it's
has
only gonna
so
get better.
many ideas and so many concepts that they are business concepts that they're going to change the whole face of the presidency. The next time, the people is not going to start to elect how you call
He's
it?
a can-doer. See, here's the thing. You finally have the little engine that could, but he's a steamroller. He's a steam engine. And all these previous politicians were the naysayers. Can't be done, can't be done. We can never do it, can't do it, can't do it. And they just live off the
But that
taxpayer.
is because they are politicians.
Right.
Okay, they don't know even how to get their own house in order.
Yeah.
Do you think they are going to try to make any
He
arrangements
doesn't
for the
have to
country?
think he can. He knows he can.
Well, the other thing that you see is just in February, he met a tremendous amount of CEOs of different companies,
Yes.
like the
Dow
Dow Chemical, that General Electric, like Lockheed Martin,
Caterpillar,
Campbell, Johnson & Johnson,
Emerson Electric.
Emerson
right.
Electric. All these are people that they were warned, do not take the industry from the country and bring it back for us to pay back excessive prices.
I'm going to speed things up because we have 1 minute left.
Yeah, but
So
that
you,
minute
you
is...
have his accomplishments, which are great. Okay, he's getting upset, but he elected somebody to the Supreme Court. That's great. And repealing Obamacare.
Well, let me tell you this.
Yes, but we have the never Trumpers. On the other hand, you have these naysayers, these people that are filled with such.
Yeah, but if you look at these never
vinegar and
Trumpers,
venom.
the jokers.
Yes.
If you look at Glenn Beck.
Right.
I mean, Glenn Beck is start to say that the Trump is immoral, is depraved, and is unhinged.
Right.
Why don't he look his own life? He is a drunk. He is
Recovering
an
alcoholic,
individual.
yeah.
He was practically a drunk for years, and then suddenly he comes over and start to criticize him.
Right. And then you had John McCain, who
Oh my
is
God!
a
Don't
never
tell me.
Trumper,
I always
but
liked
he
McCain.
can't.
John McCain. Well, you are
He
wrong.
can't fix
No,
the
I'm saying
VA
I used to
system.
like McCain.
Right.
No,
Oh,
absolutely
I used
not.
to
I
too.
dislike him all the time.
But he's the talker.
Yeah.
He's
Let
not
me tell you
doer,
this.
Never
unfortunately.
One of the problems that I dislike McCain is he has the VA in
And it's the
Arizona, who is the worst VA on the country,
Yep.
and he never corrected.
Yep.
And he's all the time. I don't understand how the Arizonians continue electing this man. This man is a crap.
Right. And then you have Lindsey Graham saying he doesn't have the temperament. But he's done. He doesn't need to have temperament. He needs to.
No, he does have
the
a
crap to the
temperament. What are you
side.
talking about? He doesn't need to. He
Lindsey
has more
Graham.
than temperament.
Okay.
You guys could
See,
talk
he's-
about this
I know,
all day.
I know.
Unfortunately.
I don't want to stop talking about this because we're so passionate about
Lindsey
it.
Graham is a joke
we're out of
also.
time. We're wrapping.
No, not
Wrap.
yet.
Okay.
Lindsey Graham is a joke because
All
he
right, we're
criticized
done.
his phone.
Play
Thanks
the
for
Oscar
listening
walk-off
to
music.
American Medicine today. You can join us again next week. And
And cannot
if
be
you're listening on a
overruled by the
different
little blonde.
radio
Hey, James,
station,
I
make sure you
resent
stay
this.
because we're going to have more. We're going to have more. And it's
are
going to be
gonna-
about Obamacare repeal.
Correct.
Okay, that's it.
You'll love
I
it.
never come back.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, he'll be back next week. Promise. Love you. Bye.
This is the first time that I am pain free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome has been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
And no, I'm not terrible. And Jeff Wagstaff.
Thank you for having me, Kimberly.
Absolutely. And the laughing Dr. Bonati, sitting over yonder without his headphones on.
Or his mic on.
There's March Madness going on in
But
here
he's
between
here.
the between the breaks.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello there.
Well, here's a subject you're going to love, Doc. Repealing and replacing Obamacare remains an important and divisive topic. And joining us right now is Jeff Crouere, author of America's Last Chance and the host of Ringside Politics in New Orleans. He was also the state co-chair for the Louisiana Trump campaign. Thanks for being here, Jeff.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yes.
So go ahead, Doc.
I want to listen to all of this thing, man. This is like fresh water in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at with all of this, Jeff?
Are we any closer?
Yeah, where are we at with all of this, Jeff?
Well, I think we've made some steps here, and that is that it looks like to me the bill is moving forward. It passed a key test, and that is the Budget Committee, and many people said it wouldn't get that far, but it did. And now the process goes forward. It could be going to a vote as early as next Thursday. And the question is this going to be a bill that conservative Republicans can get behind? Is this going to be a bill that can be modified in a way to bring about unity on the Republican side to get it through? Because it's very controversial. Some people call it Obamacare light. Others say it's just...
Yeah, but that is the Democrats, man. You know that the Democrats are going to try to create a handicap to whatever it is good.
But Rand Paul's not Democrat.
Yeah,
well,
but
almost.
But it's almost a Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a controversial bill because, as was pointed out, Rand Paul and some of the Freedom Caucus members haven't been for it. Obviously, the liberal Democrats are opposed to it. But we've got to remember that this has got to get through the House and the Senate. And in the Senate, the Republicans only have 52 votes. It's not going to get any Democrat votes. So we need to bring on board the moderates, the conservatives. And it's not easy. We're talking about health care here. We're talking about something that's 1/6 of our economy. We're talking about the Obamacare bill. Undoing that, it was over 2,400 pages.
But wait a minute. Obamacare is far worse than this, what is it, American Health Care Act?
No, what are you talking about far worse? No, Obamacare is a disaster.
Yes.
This other one is a correct way to do health care. Now, the only problem that I have with what you are saying is I think all the Republicans are going to be together. There's something that they need to be changed a little bit, but it's not really a major switch. We need to go to those 3 stages, not only because you cannot pass the whole law like the Republicans that they are against are discussing. They want to repeal the Obamacare, then wait and do the replacement. But you know something? You need to do this thing by steps. But we are doing it by step. These 3 steps has a lot of common sense, don't you think, Jeff?
Nothing is going to please everybody. It's not going to be something that is going to be easy. I think.
But explain to me why they need to be pleased. Why they need to be pleased? These people, they have something stupid in the discussion. Why they need to be pleased? They don't have the right.
Here's what I would say to that. We have known since 2009 that Obamacare was a disaster. That's when it first started in the public consciousness. You had that big debate. Yes. They passed it. They signed it March of 2010. Republicans have been running against Obamacare since then.
Yeah.
So we've known all these years that we wanted to get rid of Obamacare. And I think the Republicans were caught flat-footed. I think a lot of them didn't think Donald Trump was going to win. So they weren't even prepared for this important
I need to really discuss this with you. I think they are not prepared because they never prepared to anything. They are politicians. They move like a snail, and then when the things are being caught, then they want to oppose. They need to once for all get off the side and let this man who is a businessman to put together the plan and then put all the effort behind him, because they don't have better ideas. What is this idea? Because I am a Republican and I'm a conservative now, I'm not going to support this. What is this conservative idea?
Well, what they're saying is that it doesn't do enough to repeal Obamacare. Rand Paul has got all of his objections to it. They say that if you don't want health insurance, and then you spend more than 63 days without health insurance, and then you go back and you buy health insurance, insurance companies can charge you a premium of up to 30%. And that is a way of giving insurance companies a gift.
Well, but you know what?
Why should they let it lapse?
I think
be honest.
I think we need to return to the free market. And in the beginning, it's going to be a problem. But then suddenly, the things is going to level off. Because what's going to happen to people? We need to understand that the people in the circumstances of control of the economy is going to be the patient. And when the patient is under control, the patient is going to be able to select which insurance. And the insurers are going to start to accommodate because it's a free market. When the government dictates that you are going to have insurance no matter what, then is a problem. Then the insurance companies can rule the patient out because it's not where the purse is. When you have a private type of an economy, the private economy can select which are going to be the players that they are going to serve the healthcare.
Doc, the problem with all of this, in my opinion, is the Republicans have spent 8 years whining, crying, and bitching about Obamacare.
Because they are politicians.
But they haven't spent a second thinking long-term about how to replace it and how to build a different structured system. Now we're in a bigger mess.
Because they never thought they would replace it. Every time that you do an entitlement in any type of a business, the government give you the entitlement and you cannot remove it. It's forever. It's like cancer.
I just wish we wouldn't be in such a hurry to try to come up with just anything and take our time and do it right.
Sorry, we're taking your time. We want to listen to you.
We've got to get to this first before we can get to tax reform.
Yes.
And next year is an election year. So if you don't do it this year,
you
never will get it done in an election year. So every presidential administration has the first year when they really have to push to get their major legislation through.
Correct.
This is the opportunity for Republicans. And if we don't seize this opportunity with both health care and tax reform, I don't think we're going to be able to get it done next year. And then we could lose the majority. The voters could say, hey, you didn't deliver on your promises. You're gone.
Right.
And I'll be the first one voting them out.
I think
I've been hearing their promises for years now.
I think probably you are right that can happen. But I don't think will happen with Trump. In 50 days, he already produced 235,000 new jobs. I mean, this is an incredible behavior, something that never happened with any other individual that was a president.
Oh, I've got no problem with Donald Trump. He is moving quickly. It's the Congress.
Well, it's
that
and they're overstepping.
Well, very soon he's going to go and start to talk to the people, and I'm telling you, they're going to kick these Republicans that they are misbehaving.
Yep.
Well, the problem is if they kick them out and Democrats take those seats, then it's going to go from bad to worse.
Exactly.
No, because they are not going to be replaced. They're going to replace the bad Republicans for the new Republicans.
Let's hope that's the case. Thank you so much for joining us. Jeff Crouere, author of America's Last Chance and the host of Ringside Politics in New Orleans. Thank you. And you were also state co-chair for the Louisiana Trump campaign.
Yes,
Thanks
and
for joining
I need
us.
to get you back here, man, because really, I took some of your time.
No problem. Love to come back.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Have a good weekend. See ya.
Obamacare, always such an important topic that we can never get tired out. about trying to repeal and replace, and I'm getting tongue-tied, and we just...
It's because the show's over, that's why.
Oh, but I know, I'm sad.
You're sad?
I am.
Well,
I'm
we'll
ready
see you
for
next
another
week.
show.
Yeah.
You ready to do
I'm not
4
because
more
I need to go
segments?
have lunch.
Oh, okay.
Next
Well,
weekend, same bat time, same bat channel.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Catch us on Bloomberg. Bye.
Who said that?